Let's now move on to our next segment, and this is the Android Basic segment. Today, we're talking about security, smart lock, find my device, and all of that good stuff. So, we're going to talk about this area, and I'm going to give a quick overview of what it is like on the Pixel side of things or on stock devices. And then I'll have Miriam look at what it is on a Samsung device. And thank God, we have people on our podcast that do have Samsung devices. And so we'll compare the two, and then we'll talk about some of these things that matter most to us. But for now, here's my overview, or rather, what we have in stock devices, especially on the Google Pixel phone. And here's what I have on there. Let's now take a quick overview of
security, screen lock, find my device, app security.
Let's now go into this area and have a quick overview of all the items that are in here. The whole idea is for you to be able to go in here and look at the items and make adjustments if necessary.
Security, screen lock, find my device, app security.
I will now tap here to activate.
Security. Navigate up, button, out of list.
Upon getting in here, these are the items that we'll find in here. We have the heading up here at the top, and of course that will say
security.
Then going down, I get
security may be at risk, in list.
Security may be at risk, and
2 warnings.
I've got 2 warnings. And moving down,
check app access to your account.
Check out access to your account.
Dismiss, button.
And I could tap to dismiss that, which is just to the right of that.
Take action, button.
And there's a take action. We'll get to that here in a minute, but let's keep going.
See all warnings too.
See all warnings. There are 2 warnings that I have here, and they have to do with app-specific passwords that I had created for my Outlook accounts on 2 laptops. And so that's what that is. In other words, it's just going to be asking me, hey, do you still need this, or do you want to get rid of them? That's what that is about. Let's keep going.
App security, Play Protect scanned yesterday.
That's a Play Protect security, app security.
Find my device, on.
Find my device is on. In other words, if I misplace my phone, I could simply ask another device to, hey, find my device, or go to my computer and say, find my device. Next.
Security update, update from July 5th, 2022.
Next.
Screen lock, pin.
We got screen lock, pin, and then to the right of it,
settings, button.
There's a settings. So I could go in here if I want to change it to something else. For instance, if I want to change it to patterns, or if I want to change the pin to something else, I could tap here to go change that. Next.
Fingerprint unlock, 5 fingerprints added. Showing items 4 to 15 of 15.
Unlock, and I'm told that I have registered 5 fingers.
Google security checkup, check app access to your account.
I could go in here and check out the access to my account.
Google Play system update, update from July 1st, 2022.
Let's keep going.
Advanced settings, smart lock and more.
Advanced settings, smart lock, and more. And that's the last one. The ones that I want us to take a look at would be the advanced and
Google security checkup, check app access to your account.
We'll tap here.
Google Play services, navigate up, button, out of list.
I'll put my finger now in the middle of the phone toward the top.
Issues found in third-party access. Tab, expanded, selected.
So the first tab that is selected here, it says issues found in third-party apps. And like I indicated earlier, it has to do with my Outlook on my laptop.
Tab panel. Do you still need these app passwords? Heading 3. App passwords let you sign into apps and devices that don't support 2-step verification. If you no longer use these apps or devices, remove their app passwords so they can no longer access your Google account. Learn more. Heading 4. App passwords let you sign in.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. It has to do with my Outlook on my laptop.
Do you still need these app passwords? Heading 3.
And here are those.
HP laptop upstairs.
There's my HP laptop, and of course, that's the Outlook on there.
Last used July 22nd.
And then,
Created October 28th, 2021.
and
Remove.
I could
Button.
remove it if I no longer need it.
Outlook on New Dell. Heading.
Outlook on my new Dell.
Last used July 16th.
And,
Created November 4th, 2021.
or
Remove.
I can
Button.
remove it. Next,
Show others 4.
show others. 4.
Issues found in your devices complete 7 recommended actions.
7
Tab,
recommended
collapsed.
actions.
Your saved passwords. Check your passwords.
I
Tab,
could tap here to go check my saved passwords to see if there's any breaches or whatever problem there may be.
Safe browsing. Turn on enhanced safe browsing. Tab, collapsed.
And
No issues found in recent account activity from the last 28 days.
and
Tab. No issues found in two-step verification. Two-step verification is on. Need help with account security? Contact Google One Support for direct help.
and that's the last item there. Now I'll go back and go into the advanced.
Security. Google. Advanced settings, Smartlock and more.
Tap here.
More security settings.
Putting my finger near the tab I've got.
More security settings. Device admin apps, no active apps, in list.
Keep going.
Encryption and credentials, encrypted. Trust agents, one active trust agent.
And if you tap in here, that's just Google, and that's the smart lock. And that one is turned on.
App pinning, on.
App pinning.
Confirm SIM deletion, verify it's you before erasing a downloaded SIM, switch, off.
And you could turn it on. In other words, if you want to make sure that it's you who is wanting to delete your SIM card that is eSIM, then you could turn that on, or else when you say, hey, erase my SIM card, it'll just erase it. I have mine turned off.
Open source licenses.
And that's the last item. And that's a quick overview
Security.
of what these
Advanced
things are.
setting.
And we'll now talk about those things. And that's what it is on a Pixel phone. Miriam, would you help us show us what it is like on yours, and if there are any differences? And if so, where are some of these things found on a Samsung device?
All right, so basically, we have the
Biometrics and security.
it's in the settings. It's called biometrics and security. Here we have
Search set. Google Play System update June 1st. Google
Let me-
Security. Google Play Protect app scanned at 12:59 a.m.
the Google Play Protect, and when it was last scanned, you can definitely rescan through Google Play if you want to do that.
Security update June 1st, 2022.
The last security update that was installed, and it's pretty it's similar to the Pixel.
Google Play System update June 1st,
The
2022.
Google Play System update, which is also the same as the Pixel.
Find my mobile on.
Find My Mobile, it's on.
Find my Samsung Pass use biometric authentication to verify your identity easily and securely.
Now, this is something that's different from the Pixel phones, which is the Samsung Pass. The Samsung Pass, I find it really cool because it's actually the same as Apple. When I had an iOS device, I used to just scan my fingerprint when installing apps, or if I want to enter a password or anything, I can just actually authorize certain apps in which I don't have to put in my password. I would just save the password into Samsung Pass, and whenever it's required, it would just pass it through using my fingerprint, which is pretty similar to what happens in iOS devices, with which you can just install apps after, or pass things through using your fingerprint without needing to enter in a password.
Secure folder. Keep your personal files and apps safe and secure.
This is the secure folder. It's actually one of the amazing things too. If you enable that, you can add apps or files to this secure folder, and you will be the only one who can open it through fingerprint lock or password. And also you can disable that and enable it through the quick settings too.
Private share.
The private share. Now, this is something between only Samsung devices with which you can privately share files and apps only with Samsung devices.
Install unknown apps.
This is the install unknown apps. You can here add permissions to which we can install like unknown apps. For instance, if you got a file on WhatsApp, you can just give it a permanent permission to install apps without it asking you to allow that every single time.
Other security settings. Change other security settings, such as those for security updates and credential storage.
This is the same as the Pixel device too.
Looking for something else?
Now we have the looking for something else, and I'm going to scroll through it because it's also really important.
Screen lock type.
We have the screen lock type, and I was going to talk about it because when Warren was actually showing the settings, he had his lock screen, the smart lock, and the security settings tab. But here we have the smart lock in the lock screen settings, and I will show you that in a minute.
Battery and device care.
We have battery and device care, which is not it doesn't relate, but we do have it.
Permission manager.
We have the permission manager that we can give permissions to apps that can access microphone, camera, storage, etc.
Navigate up button.
Now we are done with here, but I want to show you the smart lock thing. So we're going to back out of this.
Back button. Settings. Settings. Location. Location. Privacy from biometrics and lock screen. Screen lock type bullet always on display.
It's right above it, the lock screen.
Lock screen. Navigate lock screen. Search settings button. Screen lock type password. Smart lock.
We have here the smart lock.
Screen lock type password.
And the fingerprints. But with the Pixel phone, the fingerprints were there in the security, not here.
Smart secure lock settings.
We have the secure lock settings.
Always on display. Always on display.
And the other stuff is not really related. So I feel like this is actually a kind of it's kind of cool splitting division between both. I feel like they have to be here, but also it's a good thing that Samsung, does this you're looking for something else heading with which you can find the lock screen thing. If you can't find it, if you're kind of used to the Pixel stuff, or if you're new to Samsung, also you can definitely use the search edit box.
Wonderful, Miriam. And this is one of those things that I've always talked about. It's kind of hard getting used to, and Google does this all the time. And so when I look at the other guys on the other platform, I'm looking at you guys from the Fruitvale side of things. There's that continuous is always the same thing. So there's no change, even if it's a new device. You're familiar with it, and you're very familiar with it. No surprises here. But see, Google keeps regrouping things, and you thought that you have it down, and then the next iteration of the OS comes through, and things get regrouped. And that's the problem we have on the Android side of things. And so, but in a sense, it does make sense, but you want to keep people in the know because you don't want people to relearn the stuff again and again every time that you have a new OS. And so if I have any beef with Google, it has to be with the fact that this constant changing or regrouping items, you're kind of making people learn things all over again. Even though I like the fact that we have all of these things in one place, that is good. But there's things in the Samsung one that I really like too that I think we could have in ours too, but we don't. But I'm glad that we have the two because I know we have our listeners that have Samsung devices, and it makes sense for them to hear what we have on their devices, comparing it to what we have on stock devices. And so let's talk about some of these items. Which of these items, guys, do you find to be of importance to you that you think you can't live without? Let's talk about the fingerprint. Is this very important? I know some people love it. Some people don't like it. I personally like the fingerprint. As you could hear mine, I have a total of 5.
I love the fingerprint.
Yeah, I personally do too, especially with the fact that I can also, as I said before, with the Samsung Pass thing, they just make life very easier and like unlocking the screen very easier and safer too. I feel like just once I touch the fingerprint sensor, I can just unlock the screen without needing to, type in a password and all that. Um, and it's at the same time, it's actually a safe option. It makes my device more secure. So I definitely love it.
Yeah, and it's better than Face ID because someone else could actually pay for their stuff with your phone without touching it using Face ID. Whereas fingerprint, you have to touch your phone in order for that payment to go through. Um, Apologies, it's suddenly very windy out here. um, yeah, so you have to touch the phone with the fingerprint sensor, whereas you don't with the Face ID. So I think the fingerprint is more secure.
I also like the fingerprint sensor, but one of the problems that I have with Google is that they don't bring the face unlock to the Pixel. That is the problem, and I hope they do that in the next year's phones.
Well, so the phone that only has the face unlock on a Google Pixel phone will be the Pixel 4. And to be honest, I really like that phone because it's just absolutely beautiful. I kind of prefer the face unlock over the fingerprint, if I were to be honest with you guys, because I don't have to touch anything at all. All I have to do is just hold the phone and voila, there it is. Unlocks my phone. And I really like that. And I was actually disappointed when the Pixel 6 didn't come with a face unlock. And we kept hearing rumors and rumors that Google was bringing this to the Pixel 6. And we'll see what happens. I'm not sure if that's going to be the case, but hopefully, maybe the Pixel 7. But from all indications, the Pixel 7 is not even going to have the face unlock either. But I just kind of got used to the fingerprint lock and most especially the in glass, the in display one. I know some people
Yeah,
like that, in
it takes some
display.
getting used to that one, doesn't it? At first, the in
It
display
does.
one. Yeah,
It
but
does take getting
Warren,
used to.
you say you can do a face unlock without having to touch anything. You just have to hold your phone. Well, presumably, in order to hold your phone, you do actually have
Yeah,
to
right.
touch the phone.
Unless
You can't
unless you
hold
could,
it without touching.
unless you could look at it, like,
Well,
like you could do
and yes,
regularly.
Maybe you could put it
you
on a
can actually
stand. You could have
no.
like a music stand, but for
Well, in reality, let me say this: with the Pixel 4, I can have it across the room, and as soon as it sees my face, it'll unlock. Yes,
Yeah, which
I do,
is stupid
I
to be
don't
honest.
have to have the phone in my hand.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
What if it sees your face and it unlocks and you don't want to? Like,
What do you
you don't
mean?
want to unlock it. Like, if it sees your face and it was across the room, for instance, and you don't want to unlock it, it just did.
Well, and you can turn that feature off. You can. It's a
Okay.
feature you can turn off to say, hey, don't unlock me even if I'm away from here, or I'm not having it in my hand. You can turn that off.
Oh, I get
So
it.
that
Okay.
sounds
really,
too
I really
annoying for
like it.
me.
No, it's not
No,
annoying. It's a very
fingerprint
good.
is much better.
Well, so these are what we call the choices. Frankly, I find the face unlock better for me than the fingerprint, and most especially on that Pixel 6 series, where a lot of people are having problem with the fingerprint. The face unlock would have been a better implementation.
And how does that go when you're in a shop paying for something wearing a mask?
Now that's a good question right there.
Well, if you're in a shop and you have to use a mask, I don't know what one would do. Well, you just have to temporarily, move the mask down and just quickly unlock your phone. I mean, it's
See,
not like a, you
this is
know,
why I like the fingerprint. You see, because it just works. The only time it doesn't work is when I've just come out the bath for a few minutes. I think my fingers get wrinkly in the
Yeah,
bath
when
or
you need to
something.
dry your finger. Yes, that happens with me too. It's annoying. But
Even when I've dried them for a few minutes,
yeah, it takes a
they're a bit.
little bit.
Yeah, they don't.
Yes,
Yeah,
you
you got.
register.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
there's always a trade-off somewhere.
there is. There is.
So
Mm.
it's just
I don't tend to go
basics
to
of
the
things.
shop right after my bath usually though. So, and also, I mean, whichever of these, I mean, you can always type your passcode instead, can't you? So, but it's like you say, it's really good to have the choice because
Exactly. And
on iPhones, you often don't. You have one or the other.
Yeah,
So
which
it is
is
good.
I don't know why Apple did that. Like I'm still wondering why Apple decided to no to, like make this choice. I don't know.
Maybe
I
it's
don't
to have you know, fewer things that it has to do. I don't know. It's very weird.
probably
But
to kind of well, I think they kind of want to they don't want to make it as expensive as it would be with the fingerprint sensor that
no,
they
and they
want to
want to
compete
make it
with.
smaller maybe, but
Yeah, it's smaller,
yeah.
probably.
But that's one of the reasons I really like Samsung phones because they give you the choice.
Exactly. Like even if like I had this A7 2018, which was like a mid-range phone, and it had both, which is
Yeah.
like an old phone.
I know, I really love that. I think it's fantastic. They also have this thing where you can draw a pattern, but I've never done that. But
Yes, and they have the same thing like accessibly. I can't remember what it's called. If you can't use the pattern thing, um, you can just draw as a blind person. Actually, it's made for blinds and visually impaired.
oh really? I haven't tried that, but
Yes,
it's I do love the choice they give you. I think in some ways they give you more choice than Google
they
phones
do.
actually.
Yeah, that's true.
And I like that. Yeah. Fingerprints my favorite though. I think you might have
Me
gathered
too.
that. Oh, and
wonderful girls.
if you're in the rain, that's when it also might not work. But then the face one might not work either. So
Yeah, that's a problem.
But the good thing, though, is that we always have that pin there as a backup. One could always use that pin instead in the event that neither the face lock or face unlock nor the fingerprint is working. We have that pin to fall back on. Now, so let's talk about one of my favorites. I lose my phone all the time. You guys make fun of me. Uh, sometimes I put my phone
just look on your
somewhere.
desk.
I put my phone somewhere or I'm
On your
out there,
desk.
cutting my grass and I put it out on the deck and I forgot the damn phone is out there. And I'm in the house looking for the damn phone and to find my device. And all I need to do is, say the magic word to one of my speakers, or, you can even go on your computer and tell it to find your device. I really like that because then it's blasting your phone out there with the alarm volume, and then you can hear it and go find that phone. Do you guys find that feature a good feature? I really like that feature.
It's brilliant, but I don't use it much because maybe it's because I don't mow the lawn. I don't know. But no, it is a brilliant feature that I always turn on.
Yeah, I agree with you. It's very good because I mean I don't lose my phone as much, but yeah, I mean it's cool. Especially because we have the same thing with the earbuds, and I usually lose them more. I don't know where they are, so I just hit the
Do
find
they
my
make
earbuds.
a noise? Do
Yes,
the
they do.
earbuds make a noise? Oh wow!
Yep.
Because
Even if
I had a Galaxy Watch which doesn't work anymore. When you turn it on, it gets really dangerously hot. So yeah, I don't use that anymore. But that used to have a Find My Phone thing, and that was very useful as well. But yes, that watch is going up to join all the other watches in the sky because it's dangerous now, unfortunately.
yeah. Actually, it kind of it gives you a sound, even if like one of the earbuds, the right one of the left one is like it fell under the couch or something. I would just make this bird sound that gets louder and louder until you hold it and just turns off. It's great.
What does it sound like? In the
It's
earbud.
like I can actually show you how it sounds like. Oh yes, there you go. There you go.
Sounds like a bird.
Yes.
Oh, how funny. And are these
Once-
Samsung earbuds?
Yeah, they're the Galaxy Buds Live Pro.
Oh, wow. That's amazing.
And
Love that.
once you like they're connected now, they're connected, so it stopped making a sound.
Maybe that's going to be what I buy for Christmas for myself.
I love them, to be honest. They're amazing compared to other earbuds that I've tried so far.
Do they have noise
Thanks.
cancelling?
They do, yes.
Yeah, they do have noise canceling.
Oh,
Thanks for
that's
that
good.
demonstration, Miriam, because that's why I like to Find My Device. You know, you could find things in reverse, whether you're finding the phone or finding your earbuds or whatever. So it's a nice feature to have.
It is, yes.
Another item that I think is of importance, you know, everything is important really, but, you know, some things kind of are more important, if you will. I think I like the, you know, the smart lock or smart unlock. In other words, if I have it on my body or if I'm holding the phone, it should just be unlocked. I kind of like that too, although I don't have that feature turned on to where if I have it on me, I think Google introduced that feature with the lollipop. I think that's when we first saw the you know, smart unlock. And or if I connect a device to it, like I connect my braille display, then it should just automatically unlock the phone and things like that. So it all depends on choice, and people can choose what they want to do. So I think that's another good one.
So the Samsung Pass, which you can authorize certain apps, which you don't have to enter a password, just the fingerprint. Or if you want to install apps with the fingerprint, not let anyone else do it. You know.
Yeah, we have that on the Pixel phone too. Yeah, you can do that.
What's that? What do they call it? What do Google call that?
It's just to authenticate with your fingerprint. So, for instance, if I want to install an app, you know, I tap install, I have to, you know, I don't need to put in a password. I just touch my fingerprint or use my face unlock to install that. Or if I want to log into, say, my bank or something, I don't need to put in my password. I've already enabled that fingerprint or whatever. And all I need to do is just either touch that fingerprint or, you know, do the face unlock, and that's it. So it's the same thing like what you're talking about your
So
Samsung.
do you authorize it for like separately for every app, or you just do it generally? Because I feel like this is, you know, the uniqueness of it.
No, you authenticate it for, like, there's some apps that if I don't want that to use that, if I want to enter my password instead, like for example, you know, the Play Store, I could choose to not use that but use my password instead, or I could choose my bank to not use that but use my password instead. So you have the choice whether you want that or not.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Right.